You just mentioned earlier DJ Screw, and that's a speed bump, right? Worth talking about it. When did you first meet DJ Screw, or started hanging around him, or how that come about?
I used to buy screw tapes from his house. You know, I was in that fucking line of cars
off Green Downs over by Reveille.
Yeah, I was in that line a few times. But we were doing shows at the time as Aggravated, and I think he was DJing at Club Boomerang one time. You know, so I used to always go holler at the DJs, because I was, you know, of course, being a DJ, I want to go.
Right.
Oh, what's up, man? And another time he was DJing, Screw was DJing for, I think it was his birthday party at Club AM. And we opened up for Ice-T. Ice-T was there. So I got to meet Ice-T, and Ice-T watched us perform.
Wow.
And Screw was DJing. That was a good night. I'll never forget that night, you know. Fucking Ice-T was one of my idols, you know, back when I was...
One of mine, that's, you know, I would have to say a bucket list. I love to interview. His influence on my life is... I was just talking to my wife about that the other day, but yes.
He was in a suit, clean as fuck.
Wow,
you know?
man. Back when he had Darlene, I imagine.
Yeah, this was like, man, 95 probably. Yeah, 95.
I think that was her name.
And then Screw came in to jam down, I guess, around what? Well, he was been fucking with Kiki, you know. So he was there in 96, 97, I guess. And then we did that album, what was it? All Work, No Play. I engineered a couple of songs, and you know, Screw was at Jam Down quite a lot, and that's how we got Screw on the Aggravated album. Screw was on I Am Your Future.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So he came in there. He didn't even know how to pronounce my name right, you know. But we had to get it a couple times, fuck with the tape, and he finally got it right, and you know. But yeah, Screw was A1.
Yeah, what a marquee left, man. You know, what a legend. Currently, you have the HTX record label. Yeah. You talk about its origins. When did that start?
Well, after we left Jam Down, I left in like 2000. I guess our contract was up, or we told Patrick we're ready to move on, and we had signed with. We went through this little era where we were 713 Stunners, and it was Ike Man's cousin. But I guess he got in trouble and went to the feds, or some kind of shit happened. So we ended up dropping 713 Stunners and signed with Shut 'Em Down Records. And that was with D-Town. And I was on Shut 'Em Down for 5 years, from 2000 to 2005. So after 2005, after we did all the Shut 'Em Down stuff, I had met a lawyer. And he's like, if you ever want to get paid, you're going to have to start your own company.
Right.
And I never wanted my own company. I didn't know how to do all that, deal with all that. I just wanted to make beats and DJ in the back.
Right.
But this lawyer's like, well, you got to have a company and an LLC and all this shit. So I started HTX Records in like 2006. Yeah, and then I had a show in Denver, Colorado, and a graduation concert, and I went out there. Solo artist, you know, already at that time, and I put out my first solo rap album in 2006 called $1 Million Mexican under HTX Records, and I recorded that bitch in like 2 weeks in Denver.
Wow.
And I was trying to do it in Houston for like 3 or 4 years, but I couldn't. I was so caught up with everybody else. I put myself on a back burner because I've been getting this other money over here. But when I get out of Houston, away from everybody, I can just do my own shit quick. So I did it. I did that. That was the first project I did under
Talk a little bit about that, the equipment involved in that $1 Million Mexican release. I'm sure the MPC was at play here?
Yeah, ever since I went to Jam Down, they had the MPC there. So I've been using the MPC since 95, 96. And ain't nothing bumps like that fucking MPC. Or Dr. Dre wouldn't use it. I follow what Dre does.
Right.
If I see Dre doing something, I'm fucking doing it shit too, you know. And Dr. Dre, Pimp C, DJ Quick, Outkast, a shitload of producers use that fucking MPC.
Right.
So I have every one of them motherfuckers to this day. So I've definitely MPC, Pro Tools.
You running Mac or PC?
Mac. Once you go Mac, you never go back.
And of course your tables.
1200 turntables, still got them.
You had a keyboard in the mix of any, or a trigger or something?
Well, now I got a trigger. Like I don't necessarily need to buy them fucking $2,000 keyboards no more.
Amen.
So yeah, so I got in my MPC I have the VSTs, the plugins that have all the different keyboard sounds in there. So I got pretty much a shitload of sounds I've had for 5 years. I can't even get through the damn list of sounds. There's fucking thousands.
Right. Gigabytes.
So MPC is my main weapon. You know, I have used live keyboards in there, and I like to use live guitarists. Got a guitar player, a bass guitar, or a lead, or rhythm, or I'll go pay another guy to add some keyboards in there. You know, but I like the live shit over what I make, and it just takes it to a whole nother level.
Right. We're gonna switch gears here a minute, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna switch gears to sports, because I am a fanatic when it comes to sports.
Yeah, man.
Talk a little about your background. You played baseball.
Baseball. I played any sport with a ball. Golf, tennis, softball, football, baseball, anything with a damn ball, I'm in it, man. I play ball.
Right.
So I really liked baseball, and football is my favorite. But that got me into the boxing. I think that's your next question.
Right.
Yeah. So
had to lay the foundation for what would become a boxing career now.
So in baseball and basketball and football, well, in baseball I was a pitcher, so I always knew how to. To me, a lot of boxing comes from baseball fundamentals. You put your legs into it and the hips and all that, you know. So I took what I did from baseball, and well, growing up, I guess everybody loved Mike Tyson. So that was probably my biggest influence, and I've always loved fighting, you know. And one day when I was in the county jail in Harris County, I caught a case for growing fucking hydro in Houston in 2008. But anyway, one of my cellmates in the county was Reggie Johnson.
Wow.
Heavyweight champion from Houston.
Wow.
You know, so, and then when I moved to fucking Denver, one of my roommates was a professional fighter, Juan Santiago. And he's probably had like 35, 40 fights. So I used to go with him to the boxing gym and go with him to train and all this shit. And I just got a new fire. Exciting, because once you do rap for 20, 25 years, it kind of gets boring. So the fighting is another challenge for me, and it's something I like to do. I love professional sports, but I'm too old to be playing. There ain't no way I can play football, basketball, all that's out the question. So fighting is what I've always liked it, and it's got a lot to do with balance and willpower, and so I got into the boxing, man, you know, and it's fun. It's like a sport to me, even though it's not necessarily a sport, but it's just challenging, it's fun, you know, and the money's not too bad, you know.
Right, that too.
You know, fuck yeah, you make a lot of money in one day. But really, you're not getting paid in one fucking day. You took you fucking a year to train for that fucking few $1,000s, you know. But it's fun, man. You only live once, so live your dreams and do whatever you want to do. Don't wait till it's too fucking late. You know? But
your rap career, being on that stage, being in front of the masses, the crowds, the loud noises, right?
Yeah.
That prepared you when you stepped in that ring that first time, and the lights came on. It was the real deal, right?
Yeah. I mean,
talk about that first match. The adrenaline, right? Alone.
Yeah, I was kind of an idiot for taking that first fight. I'm fighting a guy who's been fighting 10 years, and I had 6 weeks to train. You know, I've never boxed in my life, no amateur fights. So, but I was curious to see how I was gonna feel. Like De La Hoya says, before his fights, he's shaking. He can't even walk in. He can't even get out the chair. So I'm curious to see how am I gonna feel my first day.
Right.
But I felt like confident. I felt like it's a fucking rap show. Like I'm not even tripping. I'm not nervous. I was surprised that I wasn't really nervous or shaking or scared. And I'm like, I'm having fun. So I'm walking to the ring. The ring walk is when you start to know, okay.
What music was playing during the ring walk?
I played Zero. I played a Zero track called I Can.
Mo City Don? Or
I played some Zero. It's in Colorado. They don't know about the Zero. I put the Zero on. And it was called I Can. The song's called I Can. I trained to that song. It kind of puts me in that rhythm that I need to be in. So I'm dancing on the way to the ring. You know, I'm like, I got the song on. Like, I'm playing Zero, and I'm from Houston, and I'm in Colorado, and so I was excited. I wasn't like nervous. I'm like, hell yeah, let's have some fun. Let's get it in, you know. So it was a horrible fight though. I went in there, I didn't have my fundamentals down right. I was in that bitch street fighting. When I heard all the crowd though, I got excited. And my game plan went out the window and shit, you know. And I was in that bitch fighting like this, and I had my whole fucking left side exposed, and he kept catching me with that left hook, wow. And I got knocked down. I stepped on the dude's foot, man, and I moved my foot out. I was in a bad position, and I got like a flash knockdown, and I got up in like 1 second. And after we kept on fighting, and he kept catching me with that left hook. Cause I was like this instead of being like this now, you know, I'm over here like this, and the referee finally was like, you know, fuck it, you know, referee called it, and I was like, damn, you know, but I went and fought again the second time.
Yeah, talk about the second fight. I imagine kind of night and day. You prepared more. Yeah. How long did you train for the second fight?
It was probably a year later. I went in for the second one, and I fought this guy. He was an Army sniper, and the fight was at 136 pounds to 143. So at weigh-in, that guy came in 143. And when he got off the scale, I seen him drinking his Pedialyte. You know, I said, he's empty at 143.
Oh,
he's finna go home and gain 5 or 6, 7
dry
pounds.
sauna or how they do that?
Yeah. He lost weight to make his 143. Right. And I was with Rashid, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
And we went to eat because I was training. I overtrained, and I ended up losing 5 pounds. Whoa. So when I went to the weigh-in, I was 133 with my clothes on, shoes on, and everything. 133 full. Cause we just went to fucking eat, and I couldn't make weight. So on fight day, I was probably 130, and the other guy was probably 150. So I'm
wow.
I was way outweighed.
Right.
And in that fight, it makes a big difference when you're fighting somebody 20 pounds, like fucking 2 weight classes higher. And he kept pushing me back. I couldn't get him off of me. He just kept manhandling me pretty much.
Putting his weight on you, leaning on you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And second round, referee stopped it again. You know, I just couldn't get him off of me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I want to rematch him again. I was faster than him. I caught him some good shots, man. But he was an MMA guy. Wow. And he kept using his shoulder and doing all these crazy fucking bully punches and shit, and I just couldn't handle it.
You think that's something, those are waters you'll wade into eventually, MMA, or you think you'll stay in boxing?
No, MMA is too complicated for me. That's way crazy. Boxing, I've been training for like 3 years, so now it's a lot more relaxed for me now. I don't get excited like them first few fights. I like rapping. These rappers who their first few shows, they're screaming and yelling on the mic and losing their breath, but after a while you just start to relax and finesse that shit. You know, so that's how I feel now. You know, I'm not over anxious and not excited. Now it's like, okay, let's chill and play this game, you know, relax. It's like chess, high speed chess. You can't play chess when you're pissed off and going off fast. You gotta, man, fucking chill. That's fucking Mayweather does. I know they hate Mayweather, but I study all boxers, but I study Mayweather a lot, man.
Yeah, Money Mayweather, man.
Yeah, I study him. Marquez, a lot of them.
Right. Now bring it back full circle to current day. What projects are you working on now? You have Mexican pineapple soda.
Yeah, me and Mo Hustle came up with a Mexican pineapple soda drink that we just started. We're trying to get it in stores now. And I got a show that me and Tony Montana do called the Wadiche Wake Up Show. It's on Facebook and YouTube. You just look up Wadiche Wake Up. And me and Tony Montana, and we started a coffee brand, Wadiche Coffee. And there's a donkey on there. Dusty the donkey is our mascot, our logo on there. He's part of the show. He's a puppet, man, that goes crazy on the music reviews.
Right.
And but this year I'm focused on doing the aggravated most hated movie. That's my goal for this year. I don't want to do nothing else. But I do have my solo album, but it's already done recorded. It's finished pretty much, and it's called Ghost Notes. It's my solo. I got a song with John Cena on there, the wrestler.
Wow.
I got Lil Kiki, you know, and Ronnie Spencer, and I'm trying to get Baby Bash on there. All the old school homies, you know.
Now, when you say a movie, is there a script in the work, or there's
it's going to be a true story movie?
Some type of treatment written already, or
yeah. I got like 50 or 60 scenes. It's gonna be like
Wow.
90 minutes, 90-page script. It's all the script is basically of all the true events that we had lived during the Grim, Aggravated, Most Hated, Shut Them Down. You know, it's like 60 different memorable scenes that are good for the movie. The dialogue might not be word for word what we said, but the scenes are going to be true story scenes.
Right.
You know.
Any of these scenes involve a Kid Frost or anything like that?
Man, I don't know about that.
Those are some behind the scenes stories, true Hollywood stories. Huh?
I haven't thought about it right now. I might write it in there now you mentioned it, man.
But man, it is an honor, man, privilege, man. Let alone those classic albums, man, that I played over and over in my cassette deck in the car, man. And I grew up in an all Hispanic neighborhood. You can imagine. I started shooting videos, and some of those videos would be everybody hanging around, but I would dub in Aggravated music.
Yeah,
you know, I love that. It was legendary music. Who else was doing Hispanic rap music?
Well, I guess I met South Park Mexican after we did our third album. We did Grimm's album in '94, then we did the Aggravated in '95, and then in '96 I think it's when I met SPM, and he came to my crib. I guess Loco or somebody else had met him first and invited him to the studio. And when Los came over, I put his cassette in, and I was like blown away by his fucking voice. I was like, what the fuck? His voice is crazy.
And this is Hillwood Mastermind album with Mad Reels, I think?
Yeah, it was like 3 songs on there. I think it was Coming Up, Coming Down, My Revenge, you know. And
so Running Through My Ghetto hadn't been done yet?
No.
Wow, I'm glad you brought this up, because you are on that song, correct?
Yeah. So in '96, I guess, or '97, he got Arthur Tootie, his brother, SPM's brother. I told him, look, you want to buy this certain keyboard, ASR, of course, the one we've been using for fucking 3 years. So he bought the ASR 88.
My apologies for interrupting here, but man, it's worth noting, because I'm just learning this. So Lois had put out material before Hillwood Mastermind, like a little single of 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it was a demo.
And then enough of those funded him to complete the album,
Hustletown album,
which then added you.
Oh, the Hillwood first album. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that album wasn't
Running Through My Ghetto. I think you're on that, correct?
Yeah. That was a mic check. He just ended up keeping it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. So when I met Los, he didn't have the Hillwood album wasn't out yet. And he only had like 3 or 4 songs as I guess a demo or whatever you could say, but they were real songs.
Wow.
So we ended up making a few more songs, and then he put out Hillwood, the first tape, and that was real quick. I think it was like 6 songs, and then he on the B side, same 6 screwed up.
Right. Yeah, he did that.
So then we did Hustletown album.
Yes. And you and him did a song, Hustle Town.
Yeah, we did Hustletown song. I'm the first verse on there. I sell drugs with thugs, hit licks off tricks. You know that one. 2
jobs, dope dealer, and a pimp.
Shit. I wish I had 2 jobs. I got like 6, 7 jobs now.
Mom, don't worry, my tech protect well. Legendary lyrics, man. Come on now.
Well, that's when Los. I taught Los how to use the ASR, how to sequence and how to make beats and shit. And then he started making his own beats after that.
Wow.
And yeah, Hustletown, man, that motherfucker there, that shit blew the fuck up, man.
Right, man. Jose Block de Leon, Eddie Garcia, they're from this street. Wow, it really hit home with me too, man. That album is epic. Otero, Sonia Otero, she grew up on the street. Johnny and the Heartbreakers is her dad. She was on Come Follow Me.
Oh, yeah.
Down Yellow Brick Road. Yeah, Sonia Otero, right?
Yeah, that album was something else, man.
Yeah.
So when Lo started using that keyboard, he would come up with good melodies. So I'd made a lot of drum patterns, and he put a lot of melodies to the drums, and I would just layer them up and add in the fucking gong bell and the synthesizers and tighten that shit up, you know. And we made the whole, pretty much like 80% of that album. We did it together. And he got did Block of Rock, and I added on like the little Masterpiece synth on there. I took that kind of like from what was the name of that song Master P had? Ice Cream Man, or no, fucking one of them songs. Oh man, Bout It.
Might be, yeah. He's got a little worm or something.
Yeah, I put that worm on the hook. I added the little drum rolls and put some. Just added some shit on there, and the block of rock was done. You know.
Yeah, hopefully one day we'll get that all documented. Like I believe there was another gentleman who was even involved in block of rock before Logi and did a verse. I forget who they say his name was. But yeah, there's a lot of story to that. Yeah. Not only that, I also learned recently that when it was recorded at Shaturo's studio, that it was a mic in the middle, and they were all four around in a circle, which had like a crosstalk thing. That's what you're hearing in the beginning.
Well, from what I remember, they had a booth at Shaturo's studio,
right?
And that's the first time I went in there, and there was the mic check, and I did that. They got me running through the ghetto,
right?
You know, and we were just mic checking. He's like, "Man, Los, that sounds cool, man. Record that." I think he was just trying to get me on the song. Now I look back, man, you want to get me on a song, right? Let's do something real. Don't just get me on one line and shit. And I got Filero on the song, you know.
Right.
But that's how that song came out. I guess what was that song? Were they running through the ghetto or something? Children.
They got me running through my ghetto, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, me and Los ended up doing a lot of songs together, man.
Right, I witnessed it firsthand. The Coy family, man, what an amazing story. Still is to this day, man. Maybe he'll get out soon. Maybe we'll see. Couple years.
I think he got 2024 is the official parole eligibility date.
Right.
Just because you're eligible don't mean they're gonna let you out. You know. So shit. Well, we got 3 more years before he's a possibility of coming up for parole. And I hope he gets out. Right,
like he said recently on YouTube that he's never gonna stop, man, until the casket drop. He's gonna come out and murder everybody. He says.
Yeah, he said, "I don't care if I'm 64 or 70 years old. All right, shit." I mean,
he's chomping at the bit, man. You can tell he's waiting to get out.
So a lot of old music. There's a lot of musicians who are old, you know.
Right.
So I don't put an age on music, you know. It's like, fuck, man, them rock and roll guys are still doing fucking world tours, and they're in the 60s and 70s, you know, why can't a rapper?
I mean, even k-rino shows us the way, man.
k-rino's
and we don't care if he's 90, still spitting, book number 7.
Yeah, fire, man.
Right?
Oh, man, fire, man.
You can still perform the first verse of book number 7. We don't care.
Yeah, k-rino, that's my favorite rapper, man, to be honest.
I had Rapper K in the interview, man. That never gets old. Like he said, watching Jordan, do his thing. You got a front row seat, man. It never gets old.
k-rino, to me, he's the best rapper I've ever heard, in my opinion.
Right, man. Let alone human being, right?
Great guy. Don't smoke, don't drink.
Man, this dude is so genuine. He's real as he comes, man. But man, it is an honor. Appreciate you coming through. Let's
anytime.
Let's make it a habit, huh?
Yeah, let's do it again, man.
All right, again, man. Filero, man. Appreciate you coming through, bro.
Alrighty, brother. Peace. Thank you.